Hello, kindergarten friends. My name is Mr. Tang, and I'll be walking you through um, this activity for today's lesson, and that is week 5, April 14th through 17th, lesson 1. The materials you'll need today are going to be a handful of pennies, the Toss to Pennies recording sheet, which is included in your packet, and a pencil. Go ahead and take some time, if you need to grab yourself a handful of pennies. All right, let's get started with recording the total number of pennies that we're going to use. For our example, let's start off with 6. So on our chart here, we have heads, we have tails, we have a plus sign, an equal sign, or an equal sign, then a plus sign. So we'll be going over the differences of those two momentarily. First thing we want to do here is drop 6 pennies onto the table. As you're doing this, I want you to think about how many pennies land with the head side up and how many land with the tail side up. Okay, with this information, we're going to write it on the first line of the recording sheet to create an equation. So let's see. How many have the head side up? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many with the tail side? 1, 2. Okay, and we know already that our total is going to be 6. So we have 4 plus 2 equals 6. 4 plus 2 is the same as 6. So next step is we're going to continue dropping our 6 pennies onto the table and paying attention to how many pennies land with the head side up and how many land with the tail side up. Okay, and let's take a look at our second line here. It looks a little bit different from our first line, and I think you can see that the difference is that the equal sign comes first. So that means that we're not doing anything different. We're just looking at the total number first before looking at our number sentence. So if we have a total number of 6, we already know that we can put that first. So 6 is equal to the number of heads plus the number of tails. So let's go ahead and count the number of pennies with the head side up. 1. All right, and now let's count the number of pennies with the tail side up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we can read this as 6 equals 1 plus 5, or 6 is the same as 1 plus 5. While you are playing Toss the Pennies, here are some things to kind of discuss and go over. How did you figure out the number of heads or the number of tails? Do you think you're good at recognizing your pennies now? Can you just tell how many there are of each? What is the strategy that you use? Did you count by ones? Were you able to group them in a certain way? Did you move them around? Did you use one amount to help you find the other amount? Talk about different strategies and different ways that you were able to go ahead and figure this out. hope you guys had fun playing Toss the Pennies. Here are some next steps and the other activities to try now that we're done. Lesson 1 journal page says, is 3 and 2 the same as 5? Explain using pictures, numbers, and words. At the bottom of that is a little answer prompt. 3 and 2 is or is not the same as 5 because. So go ahead and fill your answer out there. Also in your packet is going to be the Toss the Pennies practice page. So circling back to what we did today, take some time to look at the pennies, figure out the number of heads and tails, and write an equation for all of the examples. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have fun. Until next time, bye-bye.